Can we have a full panel? No, we are one man down right now. All right. All good. Good. This is how we roll. Work with animals or children or Simon. That is the answer to it. Before we get going, make sure everyone hits the like button. Make sure everyone hits the like button and a notification. We've got a massive day tomorrow. It's the transfer deadline day show. Kicks up at 9 a.m. Goes on to about 9 o'clock. Probably later than that, to be fair. We will try and go till the last minutes of the transfer window. You will be able to catch us on one of the platforms there, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube. Make sure you check us out. Make sure you hit the notifications so you can know every time we go live. We're starting tomorrow with Darren Lewis off the Mail. He will be on the show tomorrow and we'll be discussing all sorts of the world of football. Before we crack on with that, we have our top guest here already. Next to me, lucky enough to Simon. How are you doing, Simon?
All right, everyone.
All right. And in the top right-hand corner is Jerome. How you doing, Jerome?
Yeah, spot on. Even everyone.
All right. Bottom left, we've got Nathen Ellington. How you doing, Nathen?
I'm all right.
All right. It's doing all right. I don't even know what's coming. Level-headed. All right. And in the bottom right is Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good, Kieran. Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
That's good.
Good evening.
Steve is just Russian radio, so if he does drop a few Russian words, it's just because he's getting used to the lingo. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, Sputnik.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask you what that means, because I believe you know.
Don't
ask no questions, tell no lies, yeah?
I haven't got a clue what it means, so I'm still away.
Apologies to any Russian people watching right now if we've offended you with those words.
So it's a little bit. It was the name of the rocket that went to the moon, people. So.
Oh, there we go. It can't be bad. And in the comment section, we've got Oliver Martin. How you doing, Oliver? Oh, it's Callum. How you doing, Callum? Callum's telling me there's a problem with my sound.
There is a problem with your sound.
A bit earlier. It's got a little bit clearer now.
All right. Why are you smiling, Steve?
And your screen a little bit.
I'm smiling.
How's that?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
I don't know why the screen's going a bit funny.
It looks like you've got the sun behind you.
Yeah.
Whoa! What is this? All of a sudden, everyone's a sound and visual technician. But before the show, I'm asking these questions and no one's giving me answers. Huh? But now we're live. Now we're live. Now you want to tell me this. All right? I'll see what this is. Yeah, sabotage. Yeah? Sabotage.
We have a dark horse in the house as well. Dark horse. You know,
Really?
I had a look at the Fantasy Football League team today in the table.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Jerome knows what I'm going to say. Jerome knows what I'm going to say.
Jerome, have you even checked?
Nah, I don't know what you're going to say.
Oh, hey, that's too cool.
No, I don't.
Jerome hasn't played the game in probably about since it started. He done his team, put it in there, and left it, and now he's sitting top of the league. Is that what you're going to say?
He ain't far off.
Oh, shut up.
Decent.
Oh, decent.
I think I played my wild card after week 1. That's what I'm going to do.
You're making out you don't do it every week.
There's my.
In all fairness, he's looking at players for the entire week, so he's got the jump on all of you.
Yeah, no, he has actually. He has. He has.
At the top there, my lowest point.
What's that? Is that the Sun one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you're not in our one. You could have won a football shirt.
Well, if you had Sun Dream Team,
you could have won a Man United top with the black Messi on the back. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. Next season's one ready.
Yes,
nice.
I'll be getting black Messi on there.
You missed out. But Jerome, if you
Jerome's going for that shirt.
Jerome, if you do win that shirt, just remember, people, you can't fix this. Like it's out there. Yeah, Jerome, if you do win that shirt, what would you have on the back?
Whoa.
Jacker.
Yeah. I don't know.
Thomas 5.
Shut up. Just Simon stuff.
Shut up.
William.
Did Simon tell you about the story about how when Thomas Partey signed for Arsenal,
It's a good story.
He preempted the number on the back of the shirt and the name, obviously, and got Partey 5. And it turned out that Partey's number was not only not 5, but his name on the back was not Partey, it's Thomas. So, yeah, so I fucked up for like 3 years.
So I changed it, and I went to Thomas 5, and then it turns out he's number 18. So then I got another shirt that says Thomas 18.
Why don't you wait?
I know, because because he's a child. That's why it's embarrassing.
All that money, you know.
I did the same thing though. I did the same thing when we got Aubameyang. I was told in December that we got Aubameyang and it's going to get done. I went out and I got Aubameyang on the back of the shirt, but I saved the number. I left it because I was told he wanted number 7, and Mkhitaryan was happy to give him 7. But then all of a sudden, he went. He had 14 instead. So then I went and got 14 on the back, and there it is.
I'll Dev Ellington, but it's a lot of letters, Nathan.
All right. Let's get the show started. So it's been a bit of an up and down week for Man United. Well, it's been like started down and then sort of. I don't know how you want to take it. Let's start off with Man United versus Sheffield United. 2-1 loss. How did it go down? What happened?
What happened was, we didn't come out flying at the traps. We knew, end of the day, you know, when you look at that game, you think should be an easy win.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how we should never think about it as United supporters. And that's how the players started thinking about it, I think. Before that, we were like, you know, that should be an easy win, but we can't go thinking that. And that's what changed. We went top of the league, and I think we started getting ahead of ourselves and thinking we're better than we really are. We need to remember what got us there. We just, Martial wasn't on his game. Then Matic was sitting off the man in the box. Then I was thinking, why are you giving him so much space in the box? It was just a game where I could see United were just looking like there's always going to be something's going to happen. They're going to get a goal and then they're going to just sit back and we're just not going to be able to break them down. And we didn't even play good football. That was what was most annoying. And it's just the wrong team. I just felt like, I don't know why Matic was playing in this game. And I felt like we didn't need to play the way we played. But again, at the end of the day, it was always going to happen. We were never going to stay at the top of the league and push on them to stay ahead of Man City. And you know, it just wasn't going to happen. I knew it was coming, and it came.
With the likes of Fred and McTominay in there, do you see the time for Matic sort of time to move on and get someone else in there who's probably a little bit more mobile that could do his job, or do you think he's still got another season in him?
You know what? Matic can get outpaced in a phone box. That's what happened. That's what happened. He got outpaced, mate. He got outpaced in half a second against anybody who plays him. You know that you're getting paced. Now, if you're playing Matic, how are you going to have Maguire and Matic? This is the problem again. We know Maguire is playing, so because he's playing, we have to play a different way because of him. Now, if we were, obviously, that's how the Man United are, that's how the team is. We know we're going to play him. He's going to be our captain. So we have to play according to that. What we need is cover for that. You can't have Matic on his own covering anybody in any league because you'll get outpaced. And when that happens, you're now one-on-one with Maguire and Lindelof, of the two players who haven't got the pace to handle that. So then you've got, every now and again, they're breaking on us, looking like they're going to score. And that's what happened. You know, it's just so disappointing because I was thinking, please play Bailly this game. Because at least we'll have, you know, if you're going to play Matic, play Bailly. You can't play Lindelof, Maguire and Matic. He was doing the same before. He played Matic and Maguire and Lindelof. You can't do that.
Yeah, and I think you said it yourself with regards to the players didn't really come out of the blocks. From what I was seeing, even especially on the Ollie Burke goal, it was almost as if it's like, okay, you get him, no, I'll get him, no, you get him, and it's like no one's shutting him down. How's he getting that shot in that area? How's he getting that shot off?
He opened twice in 5 seconds. You're just wondering, why are you not shutting him down? Like, he's got an open shot. What are you doing? Like, that's what was in my head. Like, Matic, do you understand that he can shoot at goal? He's in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stand on him. Like Fred would have done. Run straight in his face and try to stop him. That's what Fred and McTominay give you. But it gives you less going forward. I understand that. And exactly what happened against Arsenal, where we ended up playing with the 2, then we ended up putting the 1, didn't we? So and it opened us up again to being susceptible to letting goals.
And we'll get on to the Arsenal game now. How would you see that result? You had your chances. You had your chances to get goals as well.
We had our chances. I think Ollie wanted to go a bit more attacking after we got the injury to McTominay. But it was like one of them games where you can go at it to try and beat them because we're in that form and we should be able to beat you if we go at it. We didn't need to be that defensive mode like we did against, we do against the City and Liverpool. Just because we know we can get at you. But the thing is, you can't play Lindelof if you want to get at them and have one less defensive midfielder. You can't play Lindelof with Maguire, sorry. For me, I think it's either Lindelof or Maguire with someone else. And that's why I wish we get a Upamecano, and then hopefully it's Lindelof or Maguire fighting it out for a position, Upamecano and Bailly maybe fight it out. That's what I think. Because that's the only way we're going to move forward. So then when it comes to the game, like I say, we had one man too much defensively, which meant we couldn't really do much going forward. But then when we did take McTominay off, we started playing a bit better, but we just wasn't as fluid as you guys. You guys were more fluid than us. When you guys went on the attack, I got a bit scared. Because I was thinking you guys are looking like you're going to score more than us now. But then on the balance of it all, I still felt like we could have won. But then in the end, I was like, you know what? Nobody even deserved to win that game.
Yeah.
We tried. We have them puffed, but really, there's not enough quality. Like, you got to have more quality than that.
Yeah.
I got bored a little bit.
I know what you mean. Jerome, how would you take that game? Would you say it's a 2 points lost or a point gained?
I definitely think from Arsenal's point of view, it's a point gained. It's very funny that obviously all 5 of us, we're watching the same game because we support different teams. We see it differently. I thought pretty much the whole of the first half, or definitely the first 30 minutes, I thought Man United totally controlled the game. Whereas Nathen might not think that.
I didn't really watch as well because I was cooking, and when I was watching, it's kind of not really much happening, so I was turning away from it, so I didn't really see it as well. Yeah,
I thought United completely controlled the first definitely 30 minutes of the game, and when Arsenal broke, it was normally like counter-attacks. Considering Arsenal didn't have, I guess, 3 of their, you'd consider 3 starters in Saka, Aubameyang, and Tierney. And they're playing a team that's obviously, apart from the Sheffield United game, that's on very good form. Obviously, one of the best teams in the league. So to get a point, it's one of those games where, say, we would have really gone for it in the last half an hour, and we'd have lost. We'd have conceded a goal. You'd have looked back and said, "That's a game. Just you've got a point. Just take it and move on to the next game." So I'm pleased that Arsenal didn't sort of go gun ho right at the end. So from my side, definitely a point gained rather than 2 lost.
Yeah, so it must be a bit of a sore one for you that Liverpool started to just maybe looking like they're turning the corner and pulling it back up now that points have been dropped this week for you, Nathen.
To be honest, like I said before, it's not really a problem to me. I don't see us really being better than City or being better than Liverpool or not. On the grand scheme of things, we're not supposed to finish ahead of them. The only way we'll finish ahead of them if they kill themselves off. That's the reality of it. We are not that team yet. Until Black Messi comes in the team and we get 5 playing week in, week out, there's a bit of a different story, because I think we'll be very close to being the finished article then. He obviously is not going to just jump in the team and start killing it, but he has done very well in his first game, scoring 2 goals. Don't know if you've seen the highlight. I haven't seen it yet, but he scored 2 goals already in his first game. So The guy.
We get Jerome to check out that game and give us a little rundown of those goals and game. Because we've already done a couple of little bits on Man United youth players already. So yeah, we're definitely getting to have a look. So your next fixtures against who is it? Who you got next? You've got Southampton, and then you've got Everton. 2 tough games. I mean, Southampton aren't in the best of form. They just lost yesterday, and they lost obviously earlier in the week against Arsenal and Everton. I mean, they're a team that still just keeps on churning out results. You think they might have a blip, or you think they might have that sort of, okay, this is Everton, so they're going to have a bit of a downturn, but it never lasts really long. So you got to say it's two tough games you've got to come next week.
100%. You know, obviously Southampton on Tuesday and Everton on Saturday, both at home. It's not the place where we want to really play at the moment, is it?
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
But United have to turn the corner and pick it back up again, because we're just not playing good football at the moment again. And it feels like you know, when I say the off the cuff side of things, it felt like everyone was on song, so then we were looking like we were doing good stuff. But then when we go to start playing and someone else is off, it feels like we're just all back to the same again. It feels weird, like we have no ideas. It doesn't make sense to me. But when you have people who are in their positions, comfortable, not square pegs and round holes, I think that's what we're doing now. Because Pogba's doing well and he wants to play Pogba, this is the problem. It's all about balance in your team. And this is what we've got a problem with. Pogba plays now, Bruno plays now. But he still wants to play McTominay and Fred. You can't do that, because now you lose on the attacking side because you haven't got a proper winger anymore.
Well, in the game, as soon as McTominay went off and Pogba dropped into that central midfield role, it was Man United were back in the game again. I felt was slightly different to what Jerome was saying. I felt that Arsenal were kind of not. I can't say anyone was really dominating, but I thought Arsenal were looking all right. And Man United was struggling to really get any sort of fluidity. It was a bit stiff. And then as soon as McTominay came off, he was injured as well. And Pogba dropped in there. It was like, okay, this is different now. Now Man United a bit more of an attacking threat.
You guys look more attacking threat once that happened as well, though. Because
was it opened up?
Lindelof, because Pep was playing in there, Maguire and Lindelof don't have as much cover, then we look more like you're going to score. But if Bailly plays, then it's exactly like normal. That's why we should be playing that team. Bailly needs to be playing there, so then we can afford to have Pogba there, so then we can afford to have a winger. But because he's not playing, we can't afford a winger, we have to have the extra defensive midfielder, then we play Lindelof and Maguire, and it's all a nightmare. We're just not going to be what we want to be, and it's not going to change unless we get an upper Magano, and hopefully he just takes over and plays or something like that. But
yeah, that's not going to be in this one. That's more likely to be in the summer as well. Steve, what did you feel about the United game on the weekend? Point gains. How did you feel Arsenal played? How did you feel Man United played? Was you worried?
Not greatly worried. I think it was a point gained for both teams. I think they both should come away from that game thinking, you know, this is Arsenal and Manchester United. I mean, you've only got to go back over the years to see games between Arsenal and Man United. You'll find a lot of 1-0s and 0-0s. So this didn't surprise me. You know, one little bit. I was pleased with the way Arsenal played, with the fact that, like Jerome said, that we had some injuries. And did we do enough to win? I don't think we Arsenal did enough to win. I think as far as Man United was concerned, to me they always look dangerous. It's that area, Bailey's got to play for Man United. He's got to start every week for me. Then you can play that's one defensive midfielder in front of them, and then if you can have Diallo on the right, and then some kind of winger with pace on the left. I think that's the best way Man United should set up. But I think both teams should be happy with a point. I've spoken to people who have turned around and said, "Oh, we didn't win 3 points, disaster, 3 points lost, and I've heard Man United say the same thing. Well, I don't agree with that. I think both teams, this is Arsenal, Man United. I'm sure both teams come away from that game more than happy with a point. I just say I was more than happy. And you every Man United and Arsenal fan should be, I think.
Yeah. Simon, what positives could you take out of the game?
For Arsenal or United?
For Arsenal.
Well, the fact that we didn't have Aubameyang, Tierney, Gabriel, and what was the other one? I'm sure there was another one.
Saka.
I'll just name them. Yeah, Saka,
Saka.
that's the one. The fact that we didn't have our most dangerous player up front in Saka, who literally links everything up with Smith Rowe. I think I'm quite disappointed because we could have actually won that game because I didn't watch it live because I was working, but I watched it on Plus, catch up and all that. And I thought Man United, they should be disappointed. They should have basically walked away with 3 points because when you look at their squad that they had out, full strength 11, they can't turn around and say, well, this player didn't play because he's injured or whatever. I know with Bailey, he was a doubt. I already knew that. And when you look with Arsenal, the game weren't very impressive. I thought Pepe was good. I thought he had Luke Shaw on toast. And that's credit to Pepe, not a diss to Shaw, because Shaw's been brilliant this season. So it just shows you how good Pepe was. I thought Willian, for me, should have started. Because what he should have done is start Willian and then brought Martinelli on as a sub. Because I think Martinelli, where we were going forward and Pepe was going forward, Willian wasn't making his runs. He was literally just walking. He was doing in Martial. He was walking. We weren't busting a gut to try and bring another defender out to give Pepe more space so he didn't have 2 people to beat. And then I thought Martinelli, if he came on instead of Willian, we would have given us that little bit more, and I think we might have nicked it 1-0. But on the overall, both teams didn't deserve to win it, to be honest. But I think the Man United, they should be a bit annoyed. I thought Bruno was shocking. Didn't even know he was on the pitch. No offence, didn't even know he was on the pitch. What else is there? I thought Partey as well was off key, which is understandable. He's coming back from an injury. I thought Granit Xhaka had to bail him out 3 or 4 times. Hold the gun, Steve. Hold the gun.
I'm thinking I was sitting down.
So he's telling me I don't know.
When
you look at...
One thing I want to say about Partey is that I don't think Arsenal fans realise what this guy does. And I'm not just saying it because he's just stuck up for that. I wanted to say it later in the programme. But again, he hasn't had good games over the last 2 or 3 games. And it's starting again with the Arsenal fans where they're all on top of him. They're all picking on him now. Right. But one thing, guys that are watching tonight, no, he hasn't had good games the last 2 or 3 games. But have a look what he does with his brain. Have a look where he moves. Have a look where he goes. Have a look at the movement that Thomas Partey does.
I like that.
That is world class.
Yeah.
That's world class.
I think
you should notice these things in football.
Yeah, I think you can.
Well, that's what I was saying. Sorry, that's what I was saying about Partey. You could tell he weren't 100% in the game, and Bruno and Pogba never attacked him. Fred never attacked him. They gave him so much space to be able to get the ball, turn around and pass it somewhere else. Even when he turned, it looked like the Titanic was turning. You could see he didn't want to be on the pitch.
I think as Steve was saying with Partey, if you look at his position, you look at the runs he's trying to make, he's making like hold on to the ball too long a bit. He's not sharp enough to do the things he wants to do. But it's coming. It'll be there. And
you watch the way he takes players away, when he takes players away from another player and all that.
Without the ball.
People don't watch it. People are just watching the ball and they're just watching that ball and it's going in the goal.
Yeah.
Watch a player sometimes and watch where they go and what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, I just want to ask just a quick one to Nathan. I mean, what with the players that are there now, Nathan? What would you start with?
What for who?
Manchester United.
What would I start with in terms of what?
You start at 11, your best starting 11 at the minute.
What would my starting lineup? be starting with Bailly at the back. I'll play Maguire or Lindelof. It doesn't really matter. I think Lindelof would probably be better for me, to be fair, in terms of having a. I think he's a sevens across the board. With him, with Lindelof, probably him with Bailly probably be the best one. I think Shaw. I'll put Shaw back ahead now. Shaw has done so well. I'm keeping Shaw at left back. Yeah. He's absolutely solid left back. I know Pepe did well, but Shaw was just as good. You know, I felt Shaw is he's just so dependable now. And he's getting forward. And I think what Tellez has done is made him know what possibilities there are going forward, like crossing balls and stuff. He's started to do it now. So as everything I want in the left back, he's actually starting to do it now. He's overlapping with loads of pace and actually stamina. So anyway, then what I do is I play Fred. And then Pogba and Bruno. That's my three. And then I'll switch them between Fred and McTominay, can have their little switches between the two of them. I play Pogba and Van der Beek, can switch between the two of them. And then you've got up front, you obviously got, I can't say Diallo yet because he's not started yet. But I'd like to see him play. But really, right now, it's all about starting with Cavani's doing so well. His link-up play.
He's doing unbelievable, isn't he?
He's unbelievable with his link-up play and getting in the right places. He gets it and he's in that box. I've got to put him there. And you've got to really start with Martial and Rashford. That's really what it is at the minute. I'd like to bring Greenwood on whenever I can and also bring on Diallo whenever I can. That's basically my team. You've got Tellez who can take over Shaw if you need. And you've basically got a second player for most positions. And that's really what we need. The main thing is Fred sits there because he can move everywhere. He's so mobile, sweeping up everything. Bailly's there, so then any one-on-ones he's there to cover. And then you're sorted. You've basically got a defence which is quite solid. I'd be very, very happy playing against any team with that team there. McTominay or Fred, like I said, and then boys. So that would
and you're saying in an ideal world, you'd add Upamecano to that, and who else? Any other positions?
Upamecano, I'd have Grealish. Grealish is an absolute beast.
Yeah, he's a weapon. That
he's
geezer.
Where does he go, Nathan? He gets Grealish in.
And have Martial coming on for Grealish if he gets tired. That's
right,
it.
Yeah.
Grealish on the left, Diallo on the right, and obviously I put Rashford up the top anyway. I know Cavani will play or Rashford, but I think Rashford can also play up there, just sitting off the last man, like trying to peel off all the time, getting in behind. He can move anywhere. He doesn't have to be the hold-up man like we all thinking. I'm looking at that kind of fluidity. If you have Grealish there, you have Rashford. I know. Thing is though, with Rashford, it's a thing of he's going to score goals. He's going to frustrate you, but he's still going to get you 20 plus goals a season, and he'll score against any team with the harder chance than the easy chance. So I have him in my team. Simple. But then let's see if Diallo can get a spot. Yeah. What was that?
I guarantee you, Martial won't be happy with that.
Yeah,
he has to work harder.
He don't like competition. He does not like competition.
He's not making run.
This is what I said years ago. This is what I said. This is what I said years ago. Martial doesn't like competition. He likes going in a team where he knows he plays every week and no one challenges him for his position. He hasn't got that freedom anymore.
But it's a tough one.
You know me, yeah. You know me. I don't just say. I talk about whenever they're playing not well. I'll say they need to come out. If Pogba's not well, he needs to come out. If he's playing well, he needs to come in. I'm not a player. I don't like Martial, anything like that. Right now, he won't be playing. If I was manager, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think the best thing for Martial is exactly the same thing that's happened to Shaw. Ollie's brought in Tellez, and because of the competition, right, Shaw's thought, I've got my ideas up here, and he's turned into a different player. He's playing the best football of his career. Is Shaw.
But it's Martial. But is Martial looking and seeing Pogba, who's not a left winger, in covering his position, and he's seeing Dean James there, and he's thinking, not any day. Dan James, sorry, not any day are you challenging my spot, and then thinking I've got this. And if he ain't in the team, it's like, what's going on? Like,
you know what?
Is that what he's thinking? If he gets in someone that's a serious challenge to his spot, will that give him a sort of kick up backside?
I think he can play up front with that. But at the end of the day, look, this is the thing. hard work beats talent every day. So if you've got talent and hard work, you play every day. But if you just don't work, you're going to be sitting on a bench. And Dan James will get in front of you just because of his hard work.
Yeah.
You don't want that in football. If you can't get ahead of someone because of hard work, you need your self-checking. Like, it's a big problem. You cannot be chilling. If you're scoring 50 goals a season, go and chill throughout the game. But if you're not, you better work hard.
And I think that's the thing with what you're saying with Cavani. I've seen Cavani miss some absolute sitters. I mean, against Arsenal, there's two. There's two. One, was a bit harder, but the other one, you're talking a world-class striker, PSG, Champions League. You're burying it. But it's what else he brings. It's what he brings by his link-up plays, what he does by highlight play. The fact that he's in them positions constantly, like all the time. It's a bit like the situation that Arsenal were in with Lacazette. It was like they had him there. He wasn't hitting them one-on-ones, and that was frustrating to see. And he's not being clinical enough, and you know he can do that. But what he was doing, dropping in, linking up play, working hard when he's having a bad game. He done it last week. He missed a sitter within the first minute. It looked like head was gone. But what did he do? He just worked. He worked his backside off for the whole game, and then he come up with a goal in the end.
That's it. That's no surprise though when you say that with Cavani, because that's what United haven't got, and now they have with Cavani.
You know what's missing though?
Lacazette misses sitters for the start of this season, but now he's working twice as hard, coming back, linking everything up, and when he misses a chance, his head doesn't go down. He gets back in the game and he goes, right, I'm having next one, and he did against Southampton.
What's missing? What's missing from United? You're saying?
What's missing is now Cavani's there. He can do all of that.
Yeah.
Guess how many chances? How many times have we? To be fair, Wan-Bissaka's getting a bit better with it now. Shaw's getting a bit better, but when them wingers get it, there's not really good quality coming in for Cavani. I'd like to see raining balls of danger where even the defenders are scared to get their head on it because you're going to go flick into the box. That's what Bayern Munich do all day, Liverpool do all day, and even City with no striker can do. They always they always whip it around them corners. United seem to always
Phil Foden.
All slow, and then all of a sudden, it's late. It comes in and everyone's standing there. What's the point? We don't need that. We need to have fluidity, get in behind straight away, first time. I don't think Wan-Bissaka's got the body shape to even cross at the right times. You got him. But he's doing better, but you can see it's not natural, is it? It's not a natural cross.
Which surprises me because he started off as a winger. He was a winger when he was younger, and I know a lot of players play all over the place, and they don't usually end up in their final position. But he was an attacking player when he was younger, so I can't understand why he hasn't got that crossing in him. So that's a bit of the confusing one for me. It is a bit of a weird one.
Man United was talking about Wan-Bissaka then?
His ability to cross and not being natural the way he looks. He doesn't look natural. He never.
It seems to be having a go recently. He's trying. He's trying,
and he's getting balls in, and the balls are actually reaching people along the floor as well sometimes. But it still doesn't look, nice and fluid.
A quick shout out to Cedric. Played really well.
Man United after Pogba, he's not going to sign a new deal. What do Man United do? Should they sell in the summer, Nathan? Should they get rid, or should they try and? Do you think this form is something that could be long term? Do you think he wants to stay, or do you think this is it? Get rid of him in the summer.
Listen, for me, if we can get Grealish in, I don't mind. He's the man. Seriously, now I've seen him in the flesh so much. I'm watching him thinking this guy is surely going to lose the ball now. No, he just puts everyone on his foot on it.
Puts his foot on it, drags it back.
It's unbelievable.
He takes the mick, doesn't he?
It'd be an upgrade. It'd be an upgrade on Pogba. Yeah, because of that work rate.
In terms of the work rate, in terms of the danger that he brings to the team, Pogba's a better player. I guess he can do more. In terms of he's got
technical stuff.
He can but in terms of what United need, we need Grealish. Simple.
And it's another British player to go with the core as well.
Yeah, I love
Grealish.
Pogba, but if he wants to leave, let him go. And we got Grealish. We can get Grealish.
Grealish plays like he's playing five-a-side. That's what gets me with Grealish. I don't know if anyone's seen like some savage five-a-side players, but he plays like that, and he takes the mick. He takes the mick.
Absolutely.
I love watching Grealish.
It's been used to that though with the Championship as well. If you watch the Championship.
And he's taken it into the Premier League, so he's got that confidence of doing it down there. And he's brought it, and to be fair, you try and do that in the Championship, you go up against players that are coming from League One, mate.
They'll rip you,
get clamped.
You out of nowhere.
You are getting clamped, mate.
It's just Aston Villa's
that run against Burnley.
Silly fee that they want. You know, they want 80 million for Grealish.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
Before whatever, and buy Grealish for 80.
But I think I said last week, the wages are a problem.
What do we really need now? We need the defender, and if Diallo is doing the job, we don't even need a winger. We'll get Grealish. He'll be another winger, strokes player who comes in for Bruno when he's tired as well. So then you can put Van der Beek in the middle, and then we now got a proper fluid team who actually pass the ball one touch, and we're all going to kill it. Simple. We're actually a better team when Van der Beek's playing because he passes it one touch and gets people out of the game. He's just not playing. I don't understand.
This is why I wanted him, because of how he plays football. It's identical to how Arsenal play.
Yeah,
one touch, bang, perfect, straight.
Yeah, you'll find Odegaard's a little bit similar.
I thought he was quite good, for 10 minutes. I watched his movement and I watched him pinging the ball down the face.
You watched every single movie he made.
I did.
On replay.
I watched 10 minutes of this player, and I was already thinking, Aubameyang's on that.
He only touched the ball about 5 times, didn't he?
So I wasn't interested in where he touched the ball. He wasn't interested in where he touched the ball. It's just interesting what his movement, his footwork, his running,
watched him.
Everything, the way he breathes. I know it.
Every step, 527 steps.
Simon was very excited. Simon was very excited about Odegaard coming, and I mean, it's something that Arsenal have needed. They've been deprived of that sort of creativity or that sort of energy around there. And like buses, they come 2 at a time with Emil Smith-Rowe in there now. So yeah, but it's good. It's good to have that option, and hopefully, he hits the ground running and he can start doing well for Arsenal.
I just like how the kids have come through and shown the senior players how it's done. I love it. That's what I like about it. Yeah,
no, it is good. It is good, and I think that has had an effect on the players as well. They needed that little bit of energy in there, and I think that they have. Look, at first it may have been, you only be around for one day. We'll see what you got. But like, look at it now. They've had to fix up. Like the players around them, you ain't getting that spot back. I thought Willian came on yesterday, and although people were umming and ahhing and huffing and puffing about him coming on, I thought he looked all right when he came on.
He did.
I thought he looked all right. He looked a lot sharper. He looked like he had a lot more energy. I mean, the problem I've had with Willian previously, is that he's not even trying. He's not even running with the ball. He's an attacking player, and he's just going for the simple, just that. But yesterday, he looked like he had a bit more energy. He looked like he was willing to take a bit more of a risk in losing the ball, and I've got a lot of time for that. You're a winger.
Can we give Leno some praise as well? The saves that he's pulled off.
Yeah,
month after month.
Leno yesterday was brilliant. I think Leno as well, is come under a bit of scrutiny this season as well. Not too much, and it was always going to happen with Martinez being in there, and the fact that they're different types of goalkeepers as well. So there was always going to be a comparison, and there ain't nothing wrong with having a comparison. But what Leno's done this season has been outstanding. He's been excellent, made save after save, and he's been one of our players of the season so far, if I'm honest.
I know. I'm so glad that he's close to signing a new deal as well. He's so close to doing it. That will be the biggest signing that we will make, even in the summer. Keeping Leno, because for me, he's top 3 in the Premier League.
The
saves that he pulls off.
He's been excellent. Nathan. It is. I got the wink. I feel like I scored a goal. Boom. You with us tomorrow? You're with us tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, not in the I won't be in the morning because I've got one of our players is going on loan to Oldham. So
is that an exclusive?
I'm gonna be taking him down there.
Is that an exclusive, Nathan?
I'm not talking about who it is, what it is,
Won't talk about any players, but if you want an exclusive, you make sure you come here first because we've got Nathen Ellington on the show. Should have even mentioned it. Scrap that rubbish. It was a paper talk. They're lies. They're lies. Real Madrid are about to sign a player.
Wigan. It's Wigan.
Real Madrid are about to sign a player from Santa Cruz. Yes. So keep an eye out because we've got exclusives on here. All right. So you're on tomorrow with Ben Thornley.
Yeah, in the evening. Yeah.
In the evening at 8:30. So tomorrow we've got Ben Thornley on, former ex-Man United, class of '92 player. I'm sure he's got plenty of stories. Make sure you join us with Nathen Ellington. I'm sure Nathan's got plenty of questions as well. If you've got questions for Ben as well, or Nathan, hit us up in the box. It should be a good one. Thank you very much for joining us again, Nathan.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers,
Right.
Nathan.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
See you later. All right, we are meant to have Jason Bunting on, but I don't seem to see him. So like live TV, we
One second.
I've just seen something
We will phone him.
I've just seen something so funny.
Go on.
Just
Go on.
with the Spurs game at the moment, I think Gareth Bale's been substituted for Spurs. I've just seen someone write, Gareth Bale is so off the pace, he's just tried to play a 1-2 with Roman Pavlyuchenko.
I like that.
So I had to just say
Hey,
that.
I'll tell you what,
very funny.
football Twitter will never be defeated. It is unbelievable.
You know what,
it's the best.
But before Bale signed, I'm sure we was all thinking this guy's gonna, if he's gonna turn it on and be like a real difference maker.
Yeah.
And it so far just hasn't worked out at all, has it, Gareth Bale?
I didn't think that Gareth Bale would hit the ground running because he's not played in like 4 years. But I thought by now, I actually thought in and around Christmas when the congestion starts to get going, I thought this is it. Like Gareth Bale could really do something for Tottenham, give them that little bit of extra edge, like a new signing, that old one.
Yeah.
But he's not at all. It's just not there at all.
It's not the Bale that left Spurs, is it?
No, and it's a sad thing that we could potentially not ever see that Gareth Bale again. Like that is complete waste of a player. You can't expect to be one of the best players in the world, sit on the bench for 2 seasons or 3, and still be the same player. Football moves on. The pace of the game moves on. The style of the game moves on. You would have had to adapt in that time. So. Yes,
it's like a boxer. A boxer needs to fight. Like you need to, stay sharp. And if you're not playing games, you're right. It's going to pass you by.
That's why I knew that Gareth Bale weren't going to do anything in this Premier League because he's not played for, like Kieran says, 4 years. And the Premier League is the most physical and toughest league in world football. And you're expecting a guy that spent 4 years playing golf to hit the ground running after a few games. It was never going to happen. It was brought in for T-shirts and to help towards payments for whatever stadiums and stuff like that. Feel good factor.
How off the pace is Gareth Bale?
Very.
So is he like a bench player level at Sheffield United? Is he that level? Is he that far off the pace? Is he not? No,
he's League Two. He's League Two. Lewis Dunk had the ball in the first half and he was running with it. Lewis Dunk caught him, put him to the floor, picked it back up and ran the other length of the pitch and nearly scored a second goal. And Bale didn't even sprint back. He just jogged.
Does he even want it? That's what you got to ask yourself. Does he even want it?
It's worse when Aubameyang in the cup final against City was through 1-on-1 and Vincent Kompany caught him up and he'd only just signed for us. It's worse than that. And that was bad.
All right. I'm just just ebbing and flowing, some would say. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go and follow these guys: Nathen Ellington, Simon Powell, Steve K, Kieran Stewart or Kieran S, and Jerome Marks. Hit the like and subscribe button, mate. Cool. Come on, you know you can do it. Just like, subscribe, bell button, and all. Hit it. Make sure you get notifications on. It starts off tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Darren Lewis. It goes on after that. We've got Alan Moore. We've got Marie Bochum doing the Bundesliga Germany. We've also got.
Sorry, is he come on?
No.
Is it clicked?
No, there's nothing there. Nothing there. It's live TV, people.
Is it coming on?
Yeah, I think so.
I was just saying, if you weren't coming on, you could have just pulled your book out of it quick and gone through the transfer roundup.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. I would have gone to the Guardian top 60 first.
Oh yeah.
But you spoke to him. All right, don't worry. It's all good.
That were cue for Steve. That I'd leave that 2 minutes, love, if I were you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Jerome, give us the Guardian top 60 right now, then.
Cool. So a couple of players this week. There's a forward from China, goes by the name of Jai Boan, 17-year-old, and he made his debut for them. He'd made his debut for a team called Shanghai in China, right? And he came on as a sub, and this is the only game he's played for them. He came on for Marko Arnautovic, ex-West Ham and Stoke, and he became the third youngest player to play in the Chinese Super League. Now, I actually watched a few clips of him coming on. To be fair, he didn't look that great. I've got to be honest, it sort of looked like he's never really played football before. So, it didn't look good at all. Really, it was maybe he was a bit nervous. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Jerome is going to give it. Jerome is brutal. He says it out. He says it how he gives his own opinion. Gives his honest opinion. Yeah, he's not looking to meet these players. He's not looking to potentially bump into these players in the corridor. And he says, "I watched your show, and you said I was dog." But
let's hope the president in here.
Oh my god, yeah. Cut that out.
Yeah.
Cut that.
Yeah, do you know what? Because I would like to be featured on the Pro Evolution Soccer at one point in my life.
Oh my god,
Jerome, don't ruin it for us, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Right. No, so that's a brilliant player from China there. Then we've got second one is a central midfielder from Croatia called Tomislav Duvanjak. Plays for Dynamo Zagreb. Already 17, already played in the first team. A central midfielder that sort of likes to dictate play, and he's been linked with lots of top clubs in Germany, linked with Juventus, and he's come out and he's been quoted saying that he plays football not for all the trappings, all the stuff off the field you can get by playing football, but just he loves playing football. He plays it for enjoyment. So that's
that.
Yeah,
gotta love that. Thank you very much, Jerome. You right, Steve?
Yeah, no, we just it's best this, isn't it? I'm just sending them the link like we do every other one, and for some reason it ain't working for him.
All right. Oh, so he has tried to get on. All right. I suppose we just have to do a quicker version when he does come on. It's all good. We can work with it. All right. Well. And as if by magic, we have Josh in the building. How you doing, Josh?
Oh.
Hey, boys. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
you're all right. Yeah, I'm fine. Josh? Yeah, just getting through the world at the minute.
Mate, nothing that's easy is worth having, mate. So it was hard work to get on. So it must have been worth it.
Oh, absolutely, always worth it.
Exactly. All right, so if you don't know Josh writes for the Islington Gazette, and he writes about Arsenal women's team. And how did you get into that, Josh? How long have you been writing for the Islington Gazette about Arsenal's women's team?
So this would be my first full year at doing that. I graduated from university in 2019. So it was actually when I was at university that I got into it. I went to university in Manchester, a place called UCFB. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was at the Etihad Stadium. So
nice.
I've always loved football. Football is always been my love, and I've always been really passionate about it. I was never going to be a professional footballer. I mean, you got to be special to be a professional footballer, and I just wasn't at that level, nowhere near it. And I like McDonald's too much too, unfortunately. So that was the big thing. So I went to university, studied sports journalism. Always wanted to write about football. I always said to myself, if you're not going to be playing the game, to watch it and to write about it, it's the next best thing. So when I was at university, Man City ladies were playing Arsenal, and I just wrote to the editor of the Islington Gazette and said, "Look, I'm a student in Manchester, write about football. Do you need a match report from today's Man City Arsenal game?" And he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I just sort of kicked on from there.
It's quality.
And graduated from university, and then this would be my first full year in doing that.
Oh, you have to say that's some excellent initiative there. Kids out there, take note of what Josh did there. He went to a game, no one even asked him. He didn't roll out of bed and someone asked for a CV. He went and sent them a letter and asked them if you want to do it, and properly for free. And because that's what you do. You show people that you're worth, and then eventually they give it back. Anyone that's not seen, because I've been to the Etihad, because we played a couple of games at their training ground. Anyone that's not seen their training ground, it's absolutely stunning. It's on a completely different level than I've ever seen. It's so many pitches. They've got the women's stadium. It's the facilities at Man City is just second to none. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Arsenal last season were probably a bit gutted after the season got halted early doors. Only a few points off of the league then. Do you feel that the FA sort of done all they could to sort of look after the women's game?
Yeah, last season was really hard. Like, it's really hard. The decision for me was the right decision. Because in the women's game, it's not like the Premier League. Obviously, the money is completely different.
Yeah.
So with COVID testing last year, it was going to be so hard to continue on with the season. The money in the women's game wasn't there for it. And for everyone's safety, see, for me, okay, it's this season. It's been good in that way. It has got its backing, but the women's game without fans for me is really difficult because again, money as well. So not so much the Arsenal, the Chelsea, the Manchester City, but if you're looking at Bristol City, Birmingham City, they need money. They need money to operate, and that's what I think. In terms of last season, the right decision was made. Yeah, it had to happen because, like I say, it could have been. There was clubs last year that could have been gone completely out of business. Yeah, and we wanted that. So stepped in at the right time, and it was the right decision to make.
But games are getting going now, and the league starting to take pace, starting to sort of set up for the top floors, looking like they're going to be the challenges for the league this season. One thing that Arsenal. Go on.
No, it's improved this year. The WSL, it definitely has. I mean, obviously in the past years you had Arsenal, you had Man City, you had Chelsea. This season, Man United are up there.
Yeah, and that was a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting Man United to be in there so early.
But for me, it's more obviously Casey Stoney's an incredible coach. They brought in Tobin Heath, Christian Press from America, two of the best players in the world. But
Tobin Heath's been quality.
Unbelievable, yeah. Unfortunately, she's out now for 10 to 12 weeks, which was a blow. But they've kept the nucleus of their squad from the promotion season, and they've built on it. So they all know one another, and they all know exactly how to play with one another.
Yeah.
And that's massive. Obviously, they had a good result this afternoon against Everton. It's an acid test. That was a really acid test today. Everton are one of those sides who are hoping to obviously close the gap on those top three and challenge for, wouldn't say the title, but the challenge to get into the Champions League, and to go away there today and to put in such a professional performance to win 2-0. And United have been very, very good this season. They beat Arsenal as well, and they completely outplayed Arsenal. Their press was incredible that day. So they're 100%. They're getting better and better by every game that they play.
And on to Arsenal, that the one thing that they seem to, well, if you look at Arsenal's record, they've only conceded the second least in the league, and they're the top goal scorers in the league. So it seems to be that it's just teams in and around them that they're not taking the points off. But with the likes of Vivian Miedema, I mean, you got to be Arsenal's greatest all-time player. I mean, you got a winner there, haven't we? I say we. I shouldn't say we. I say Arsenal has got a winner.
They do, yeah. But like you say, it's just when it comes to those big games in the WSL, to win titles, it's like all football. To win titles, you need to beat those best teams. And Joe Montemurro, managers, already said there's a mentality block going into those games. So,
but why? It weren't there previously.
It's really, really hard. It's a really, really strange situation to. Honestly, I can't put my finger on it. I can't say why. It's very, very strange. But next week they've got Manchester City at Meadow Park, and if you look at history, they've got a good record there. But it's away from home. It's the away games that they struggle in. And this season, Chelsea they won today, so they were on a 30. They've gone 33 WSL games unbeaten. And Arsenal this season were 2 minutes away from beating them. A free goal, Pernille Harder crossed it, hit it deflected off Lada Women Moy, and it goes in. And it's those margins, and it's very, very strange. They conceded late against United. Against City away, they conceded in the 90th minute. It just feels like maybe a little bit of a concentration lapse.
That seems like what it could be.
It's
Josh,
really,
how did Arsenal women's get going? I think a lot of people watching the show tonight, I think they'll be quite surprised about the person who founded Arsenal women. Can you give us a little bit of knowledge and history about that?
Yeah, well, I'm very young, so I'm very much in the present as well. So I'm very much. I wouldn't say I'm new to the women's game, but 2009 would sort of be my 2009 onwards would be my knowledge. So this is how I first started watching women's football. It was Euro 2009. And that's how I got into it. I'm only 24, so I'm pretty young in terms of what I do. And then obviously, from 2009, I sort of got interested in Arsenal. So the likes of Kelly.
I mean, it was founded by people who would be surprised, might be surprised, or may not be surprised by Vic Akers.
He won the Champions. He won the Champions League with them.
Absolutely.
Or the European Cup.
Manager for 22 years for the Arsenal's women. What about this? He won 33 major trophies in his time at the Arsenal manager of Arsenal Women's. Absolutely incredible.
He's got an incredible record, and then obviously that the European Cup was the only English team to ever win it. It was over 2 legs against a team from Sweden. Alex Scott obviously scored the only goal of that tie, and it was it was unbelievable. But I'm a bit too young really to go back and obviously view those games. But obviously I've watched them back now.
Yeah, making me feel old, Josh, saying that.
I remember going to the Arsenal stadium and seeing Rachel Yankee in there, and I was like, "Oh, it's Rachel Yankee," and that was years ago. So let's not even talk about old Josh. Let's not even.
Let's talk, how good is Vivian Medina, Josh?
Incredible, like honestly, unbelievable.
How did Bayern Munich let her go?
It's crazy. She could do nothing for the whole game, and the ball just pops to her in that one instance, and it's a goal.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely unbelievable. But this season as well, not just Miedema, but there's been so many players chipping in. Jill Roord she scored 2 consecutive hat-tricks in the opening weekends of the season against Reading and West Ham. You know how many goals she scored last year? She only scored 2 goals last season. Just scored 6 goals in the opening 2 weekends. So there's an improvement in that. Caitlin Ford has been an incredible signing, the Australian international. Unfortunately, last season she only played 2 games. She signed in January, so she played against Lewes in the FA Cup and the Continental Cup final against Chelsea. And then obviously COVID happened and the season got suspended. But this season showed a lot of quality. She's been absolutely fantastic. And there's so many players in that Arsenal team. That's the good thing about it. Mostly you'll see Miedema scoring the goals, but this season, like you say, they're the top goal scorers in the WSL. But it's not just Miedema, but there's more players chipping in this season, which has been a real positive.
Beth Little's been pretty this season.
Well, Kim Little's been great this season, and Beth Mead, but I always find with Arsenal women this season is, well, it's not this season, but over the past few seasons, when Kim Little plays, then obviously she's the captain, but there's more of a unit there, and when she plays, you feel much more confident about going on to get a result.
With regards to young up and coming players in the game, you've got like Lauren James, Reece James's younger sister, Chloe Kelly. Brilliant winger. What other young talents have you got coming through the game that you tell people to sort of look out for?
Do you know? Again, another Manchester City player, Lauren Hemp. She plays on the other wing to the other side to Chloe Kelly. Just unbelievable. Like, so good in terms of driving forward, playing through the lines, and she's a goal scorer. She'll get you a goal as well. Big fan of Lauren Hemp. At Arsenal, they've signed one in January. Her name's Anna Patton. She's a young defender. She was at Arsenal before, and then she went to America for university. So they brought her back this month. She's very, very promising. And as well, Lotte Wubben-Moy, another young defender. Arsenal's defence in the next 5 years is already sorted now, as we speak today. Anna Patton, you've got Lotte Wubben-Moy, you've got Leah Williamson. Like, Leah Williamson.
She's quality. She's quality.
I think it's 97 WSL games, and she's only 23. Which is, for me, the future captain of Arsenal.
She is. Very, very level-headed as well.
Yeah, unbelievable player. So technical as well. I mean, her passing game, it's not just defending. How she passes out from the back, it's unbelievable. She's
very composed
as well. So it would be definitely ones that I would recommend. And Ebony Salmon as well.
Josh, do you think there's? I mean, the women's game's getting bigger and bigger every day. I mean, I had a look at the Arsenal squad. I mean, there's a lot of people from across the waters in the Arsenal squad. I mean, there's a couple of people from. I think there's one from Ireland. You've got Katie McCabe. Yeah. You may have one from Scotland. I think Kim Little's Scottish, and then you might have a couple of. The rest is Australian, Swiss, and Australian, German. Do you think that's going to be a problem? Do you think that's going to be a problem in, like, say, 5 years' time?
No, I don't think so. Look, I think there's. You mean in terms of the English national team, or do you think in general the league or?
Yeah, just with the national team and the
No.
and the domestic league.
No, I think honestly, I think England's in a great place right now. I really do. I think there's so many good young English players coming through. Chloe Kelly, like you said, Lauren Ham. I mean, they're in a really, really good place. Alicia Rosso is another one from Man United. Yeah, I honestly believe that in come Euro 2022, I can't see why England can't go to a final.
What's that block? What's the block? What is the block taking them across that line? Because it's not new. We've had it since I think it was 2009. We got to the semi-finals and lost against Canada, wasn't it?
Well, that was obviously, and then in the World Cup they got the bronze medal, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
The last World Cup again, they got to the fourth place playoff. They got beat by USA in the semi-final. Steph Houghton unfortunately misses a penalty. It's just about fine margins, and they've come so close in recent years. And this is Euro 2022. Obviously, they've got a new manager, Serena Wigman from the Netherlands, and she's been successful. She's brought the Netherlands she won obviously the Euros with them. She brought them to a World Cup, the last World Cup final in 2019. So yeah, look, I'm really, really confident and optimistic about England's future. I really am. I think they're just in a very, very good place right now. I mean, like we've already spoke about young players, but we've got Leah Williamson at the back, obviously playing regularly now. Keira Walsh, one of the best midfielders in the world, plays for Man City. So they've got those players coming up now.
Is Van Donk still with us, Josh?
What is it, sorry?
Van Donk, is she still with us?
Van der Donk, yeah. Danielle Van der Donk's still at Arsenal. Very, very good player. Yeah, very technical. But what I like about Van der Donk is you can play. She's very versatile, so you can play her on either side of on a wing. You can play her as a number 8 or a number 6, but probably not the best in that role, but can play there if needed. Or in a preferred position as a number 10. So that's another option to have for Arsenal. Probably hasn't had as many minutes as she wanted to this year because the competition is big at Arsenal this year. You've obviously got Kim Little, Jill Roord, Jordan Nobbs, who are world-class players. Unbelievable. World legend as well. Is Jordan Nobbs, one of my favourite players in world football. And again, Jordan Nobbs this year, when she's played, she's a centre midfielder, number 8, but played on the wing this year, and she's creative as well. So again, Joe Montemurro has options, and there's people out there that say, Arsenal have this small squad. It's a myth. It's not a small squad, but it's a smaller squad compared to what Chelsea and Man City are. But Arsenal have got a squad that is full of world-class players. So, and they should be challenging for the title. There's no doubt about that. So, there is a lot of options at Arsenal.
What is it for the women's game you think can raise the profile of players? Because even just now, if I want to look for a young up and coming player in the men's game, I'll YouTube it. There's 10 different accounts making videos, compilations of it. When do we get to that point in the women's game? Because that's I feel that's a little bit of a blocker. If you want to,
I 100% agree, and I would sort of say that's on people like me and in the media to try to get that out there. For me, what's been good about the women's game is on a Sunday there's a game on a BBC Red button, and that's an improvement. And then there's obviously games on BT Sport. Looks like you're getting it next year, which will be bigger. But there's so much in the women's game that needs to improve. That, like you say, in the men's game, if Liverpool or an Arsenal or a Chelsea are linked with this young player, yeah, that's all you need to do. You just need to type in YouTube, whoever it is, and it comes up. But another thing that frustrates me in the women's game is, obviously, if I'm writing an article during the week and I need a statistic, I mean, it's you don't understand how hard it is to find that statistic.
Yeah.
So it's so difficult. It's so hard.
These are basic things. Like, these are basic things.
100%. Yeah. No, the basic things. Obviously, goal scores are okay, but if I need to
passes, crosses, touches,
all that. It's honestly, it's really difficult, and I think that's where effort comes in as well. Yeah, that's in the men's game. If Cristiano Ronaldo completes 101 passes, whatever, I don't know. I need to go if Arsenal played Aston Villa today, for example, I can tell you right now, at 11 minutes past 9 at night, how many passes Kim Little completed, because I can't find that. And that's and that's difficult it is. And it's rise in the women's game. It is big, but it's miles behind what it needs to be.
Yeah, it's almost looking at the league table. Sorry. No, I'm just looking at the league table here, and you've got Chelsea at the top, Man United, Man City, and then Arsenal. Then you start to see a gap, Josh.
Yeah,
you start to see a gap. You start to see a gap. Coming before your eyes with Everton's and Reading's, which are on 15 and 12 points, which there's a big gap. And then at the bottom there's an even bigger one. Is there a danger of that gap? That needs to be closed, doesn't it? That gap needs to be closed. I mean, what do they have to do to close that gap?
It does, yeah. No, you're 100% right there. But this year, believe it or not, it's certainly the most competitive year. I mean, the summer signings and January, to be honest, in the WSL, it is really hard. I mean, especially now in a COVID world, it's even more difficult to bring players in. But in the summer, there was players there going to the likes of Reading I'm going to name two from Arsenal, Danielle Carter and Emma Mitchell, who would fit into a lot of sides in that league, and they're two very, very good signings. So the standard of those teams are 100% improving, and I think in years to come it will definitely close. But again, it's the same as in the men's game. It's all about resources. I mean, it's money as well, and obviously when you've got Chelsea signed Pernilla Harder this season for the women's record transfer fee, best player in the world. I mean, won all the awards this year. And if you're Chelsea are doing that, then Arsenal are signing players. And Everton, to be fair, Everton brought in Valerie Gauvin. They've been back this year. Valerie Gauvin, she's a French international striker from Montpellier. Unbelievable. She's injured at the minute, unfortunately, but so they're closing the gap too, and they've been backed, and that's another big thing. It's about how the clubs back the women's team, and that's a massive thing as well.
It's very important, yeah,
absolutely. And that's
do you think? Do you think social media should do more for the women's? Because I've always thought that they should. I'm surprised that the women's league hasn't got an app that you can just download on Google Store or whatever it is, like on iPhone or whatever it is on there. And then because you've got the Premier League, you've got the Championship, and you've got League One and League Two. You can go on Google and you can download an app that will tell you everything. Players are injured, what touches and all that sort of stuff, what they were signed for. And there's a few, I can tell easily from League One and League Two, more people have downloaded that. I think it's got something like 10 million downloads. That's unbelievable for League One and League Two. So if women's can do something like that, you could get more of the men taking more basically notice into watching women's, because I'll be honest, I've watched women's before and I've gone, what is this? Have I stuck it on record? Is it slow or what? But now it's come on so much that it actually does do like half stadiums, when it only used to do like one dot, another dot, and then another dot, and then loads of empty seats.
Yeah, look, it's definitely improved, and I think England's success at obviously major tournaments has helped that. But like you say about the apps, yeah, it would be fantastic. But to be fair, this year, well, for the last few years, we've had an app called the FA Player. So the FA Player, if your team's game isn't on TV, it's on the FA Player. So that in itself
that needs to be out there. That needs to be out there. Like these things need advertising themselves.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I don't really feel that it's out there.
It's not.
Like,
it's not. It's not. I watch women's football when it's on BT Sport. Yeah. Because like BT Sport advertise it, and then when it's coming on, and they say there's the WSL game coming on, Chelsea versus so and so, you're like, okay, Tottenham versus Arsenal, right? Okay, I'll watch that. Yeah. But you don't feel like it's on. Gets the advertisement when it's on. Like you said, you could just press a red button if it's not. I didn't know that. You could just get it on this app. I didn't know that. Like these things, people need to know these things.
No,
well, we found our sponsor.
I 100% agree with you on that there. I mean, if I didn't obviously don't do what I do, would I know it's on the red button? Probably not, to be honest.
Probably not. No. And it's a bit like you were saying before. There's not that person that's doing them stats. Okay, it might not be an app, but if someone does those stats, if a fan does those stats and does these things and does their page, then they could potentially be part of that team that does make that app. And although the women's game has progressed with levels of play, the stadiums they're in, the fans, everything all around, it's that side, but the admin side has not kept up with that. It's like the football's gone boom with all the money, but then the admin side on the other side of it has not. Maybe the fans need to get involved and start, like you did, write to your local Gazette and say that maybe the fans should get involved and start doing the player profiles, start making these video compilations, start getting that and doing those things to help the game as well, because that's it's the passion of the game that will help raise that and get these things moving as well.
Maybe I'm biased as well, but I feel that Arsenal are actually the best club for promoting their women's team. I mean, they're very good. Their Twitter account is very, very good. It has videos and interviews and whatever. It is very, very good, and it's updated regularly every day. And also on the club website, on their shop, you can get women's players on the back of the shirts, which is massive. And I don't know if any other club does that. Maybe they do. I think Man City do, actually. I think Man City do. But that's what needs to happen as well.
Yeah. When Arsenal have done those promotional videos recently, like when they've released new kits or new merchandise, you always see the women are involved in that as well.
I thought that was a brilliant advert with
Arsenal Media as well on YouTube. They have the women's now come in with the men's. When it used to be photo shoot, and you'd look on it and you'd go, oh, the women's are there, look. That's the only time you'd see them. But now you see them sat. You see the women's top striker sat with Aubameyang and sat with Gazette, because they're the three strikers.
I feel that every single club should do that.
Yeah, because they make it like it's one club and not. They make it like it's one club, like the under-23s, the women's team. There's that. Whereas some clubs, it feels like it's separate. There's the men's team. And this is so-and-so's women's team. If we could change the name, we would. But it's like, with Arsenal, it's very inclusive. You've got to love that.
Josh, this is. I haven't got a clue to the answer of this, so it's just it's just something that I've always wondered and never had an answer back, because literally they don't know. So, Josh, I'm relying on you here, mate.
Go on, I'll try my best.
What do they earn? I mean, what type of money do the women? For instance, let's take Arsenal. I mean,
Yeah, to be fair, Arsenal are they're well paid. They'd be one of the top earning clubs, obviously, in England. But then, see,
what would
all the
Medina earn?
WS
What would Big Nadine earn a week?
better than what I earn. Put it that way. It's good. No, it is good. They are nothing like the men's players. I don't figure because
No,
I
I
don't know.
didn't think that. I didn't think that.
It's good. It's good money. So
What, over 30, under 30?
Yeah, over 30. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
So it's more than League One and League Two technically.
With
men's.
It's good money. Yeah, it is good money. It depends who you play for. If you play for Arsenal, you're doing really well. And that's being honest.
But again, that's probably because Arsenal have been doing this for years. Arsenal have always backed the women's team. It's been since I've been young. The women's team has been about.
But then, if you're looking at the women's championship, so obviously the one below the WSL, they're in jobs. They're in like normal jobs, so they're playing football and in jobs as well, which is another sort of big factor of why COVID testing's massive, because they're in offices.
Yeah, true.
5 days a week, and then obviously training at night and stuff. So, and then Arsenal is solely obviously professional, so they're in a bubble, and so they're obviously in training, everything, things like that. So yeah, I mean that would be another concern of the women's championship. But the top league, they're all pro, and they're all put it this way, they're some of them.
Your Chelsea's, your Man United, your Man City's.
Chelsea's going to be on decent money as well. I can't see it.
So, Josh, why are we fourth? What's going on? Why aren't we top?
And I think also, why are Chelsea top? Is that what your question is?
Yeah. I mean, it's fourth where Arsenal should be with the squad big.
Chelsea, for me, Chelsea will win the league, and that's being honest. Just in terms of their squad depth is unbelievable. I mean, they've got so many world-class players. When you can afford to put the likes of Bethany England on the bench, it says everything. I mean, she was the second top goal scorer in the league last year. She probably again a player who hasn't probably played as many minutes as she wanted to this year, because Sam Kerr, another world-class player, starts and she's doing okay at the minute. She's scoring goals, another goal today. And they're just so well managed by Emma Hayes, incredible manager, and just knows exactly what to do. And again, their mentality's incredible. They just know how to get over the line. I mean, they're 33 games unbeaten in the league, and it's a record. So they just know how to get it done, and that's why for me they'll win the game this year.
Yeah, top coach there as well. Top coach. Josh, thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers, thank you.
We'd love to have you on again.
Absolutely.
Give us updates on the women's game, and I know your football knowledge in general is pretty unbelievable. I see you talking about French leagues earlier on.
I mean, it was a decent little result for Lille and Paris Saint-Germain. First defeat for Martino.
Are you quite surprised? Yeah. Are you quite surprised with Nicolas Pepe and what he's done in the league? When people say that he's underachieving, I think he's doing good.
This is another thing. When you were talking about League One earlier, my club plays in League One. I obviously love Arsenal women. That's who I would support in the WSL. But when it comes to men's football, I'm a Sunderland supporter, unfortunately. So I'm a big Sunderland supporter. So yeah, I mean, hard times at the moment, but yeah, I just absolutely love that club.
Yeah.
I could tell by your face, mate.
I know you were speaking about French league earlier. You were saying, is it Youssef Yaxi? There's a lot of transfer talk around him. Is he? How good is he? Because obviously only a lot of people have seen highlights.
To be fair, this season he's been very, very good, but it's been a really surprising good because before this season he wasn't scoring as many goals as he has been.
Yeah,
it was quite. When he scored his first goal this season, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I'm not actually sure, but I think it was his first in about 2 years, and I think that's when he scored his first goal this season. I think I can remember someone saying that.
Yeah.
So it's been a really, really surprising season, and he's done well this season, but he's one of those players that sort of, in terms of transfer, I think he needs to stay at Lille because to keep going, and I think so I don't really think he needs to move. I mean, this is he's having a solid season, and he can sort of build on it. As for your question about Nicolas Pepe, he has moments, but for the money that Arsenal paid for him, not enough moments.
No.
And you're talking about a 75 million player, and yeah, okay, he's got it. He's a great player, and you can see it, but it just hasn't come out. And we need to play to
his strengths as well, though. Like fast counter-attacking football, and you'll see the best out of Pepe. You'll see the best.
I think that kind of thing works both ways. If you're good enough, you can adapt to a type of play which the other team plays, like any player can. And I think to be fair to Pepe, he's actually started to look good in the last couple of games. And I hope that continues.
I thought in a pretty dull game last night, he was okay. He obviously had a chance that he put wide. But yeah, he's been. But that's the problem. Just that word, okay.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than okay, isn't he?
Yeah, it has to be better than okay. With the money that Arsenal have paid for him and for what you expect from him. I mean, he came with so much hype from Lille, and he was. Yeah. And it's okay.
There's that price tag though in it, but we've got to understand that price tag. Take 20 million of that away and put that in Ralstonelli's back pocket. Like,
and that's his price.
And it's the same as Harry Maguire. I mean, I might get pelters for this, but I think Harry Maguire's been solid enough for Man United. I think some of the criticism that he gets is ridiculous. I mean, it's the price tag, and because he's so much, that's what makes people say, "Oh, he's just." Yeah. But I don't think he has been. I don't think he's been as bad. I think he's been quite solid. But again, it's just all about the money.
Yeah. If he was £25 million, people would probably be saying different things.
I think if he was 25 to 30 million, I think it was all right. He's actually done okay, but because he's 80, I think people are just thinking and then the comparison to Van Dijk and stuff, which he isn't on that level.
Yeah, he's not the same type of player though, so it's not.
The thing is, if you're a centre back for Manchester United, you've got to be and play like an £80 million centre half every week.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they want to win the title and they want to win the Champions League. That's what Man United are used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Love to have you back on to give us some women's football updates. Anytime.
Hopefully, next time Arsenal or maybe top of the table. We'll see.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
I'll take anyone. I'll take anyone at the moment. Honestly. All right, Josh, thank you very much for coming on. We'll definitely have you on soon, mate. All right, take care.
Take care.
See you later. All right. It is time for... Yep. Thank you very much. Josh, thank you very much for coming on. It's time. We had the Guardian Football 60 earlier on. A little change around. It's time for the transfer roundup.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
But first of all, we're going to start it off. We're going to start it off with Tallis Magno. Yeah. This is a comparison to Gabriel Veron, Jerome.
Oh, I like this.
What's Tallis Magno saying?
God, Tallis Magno.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a showboater, to be honest. And this is so unfair on him. He's been dubbed the next Neymar.
Oh, bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit much. So a little bit about him. He's a forward, but he's 18. Recently, he's played more as a winger for a team in Brazil called Vasco da Gama, and he's come through their systems, and a couple of well-known players that have come through their systems in the past are Romario, who you might remember, and Coutinho as well. Coutinho as well came through Vasco da Gama. Yeah, so he plays on the wing, as I say, mainly now, and he's got, again, brilliant feet, close control, creative, but there are some question marks over his speed. Whether he's got like that burst of pace.
Yeah.
He's played for the Brazil under-17 team as well. They've just got so many players, Brazil, like their youth team.
It's ridiculous, honestly. It's a joke.
Yeah. So to make any appearances for their youth teams, you've got to be some kind of player. Also, he's, like when you see it, he's, because of his size, he's 6'1". So when he plays on the wing, he can really hold off fullbacks a bit. I guess a bit like sometimes when Zaha plays against smaller fullbacks, he's not going to get outstrengthed by a fullback because he's bigger and more powerful. More bit of a showboater, this one.
So, is it Tallis Magno or is it Gabriel Veron for you?
I think Veron. I think Veron.
What? Because of the pace.
Yeah.
And it's more direct.
Yeah.
I think my favourite was Veron out of the two. All right. Yeah. If anyone's got a him versus him for Jerome, I just made this little segment up on the spot.
I like that inverse. I'm going to do some inverse. I'm going to send them to Jerome's inbox.
Head to head. No, we can't say that.
Then throw it my way, and we're getting on the show. Who's your favourite? It's got to be a young player. I don't want no golden oldies. I want young players. The more unknown, the better. But obviously, they can't be so obscure that they've got no footage. Like, we're not sending Jerome to the country to watch these players play live. So yeah, it's just game footage or highlights at the moment.
I don't know about that. He might like an holiday.
Muted until we get the.
It's Barcelona. It's like Barcelona over here. We're not getting paid our wages for week either.
No wages.
See, I told you I like Barcelona.
West Brom are interested in signing former Leicester forward Ahmed Musa. Fulham boss Scott Parker is not happy with the news that Chelsea potentially want Ruben Loftus-Cheek back. Steve spoke about that last week. He said it would be a massive shame for him to go back and sit on the bench. Sergio Aguero has been in contact. Agent has been in contact with Barcelona about a permanent move, which could see him linking up with Messi if he stays at the club. I doubt it very much, unless Juan Laporta wants to come in and keep Messi, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just baffled. What are they going to do? Have him up on strings like Pinocchio when he's got no legs left? Like,
he's had another ball day, though, hasn't he? He's had another ball day. He's had his contract leaked. If you've seen it, they're his actual numbers.
No, we were speaking about it. We spoke about it on the radio. But it's time he's done there. It's time to move on. I know, like, the fans are going to be upset, but they're going to be upset. It is what it is. He's got something written in his contract where he could leave at the end of each season. It says to me his mind is elsewhere. I don't know.
If he hadn't made his mind up, this certainly tips it over the edge, isn't it? For sure.
Yeah. League One side Marseille have agreed a deal to see Marley Aki go to Juventus. Jerome, you had a look at Marliaki, didn't you?
Yeah. What's he saying, Marliaki? He's a winger that plays right or left, and I guess he's 20 years old. His like superpower is his dribbling. Hardly doesn't. I mean, in his 26 appearances for Marseille, hasn't scored. Very hard working, as I say, great dribbling skills. In terms of a style, like the dribbling style, not as good, but similar to the way that Kingsley Coman, the Bayern Munich winger.
Yeah.
Bit like him in style, but I guess for him it's a end product, something I guess he needs to work on.
Yeah.
They're buying a few players, though, Palace, aren't they? They're buying a few players. So was it Madsen they bought?
This was Juventus.
Yeah.
Juventus. Sorry?
No, I was just saying Crystal Palace are buying a few players this
window. Yeah. PSG are in talks to extend the contract of winger Angel Di Maria. PSG have offered Real Madrid Sergio Aguero a 3-year deal worth 15 million. Our Adolfo Guiash has joined Benevento on loan from CSK Moscow. We're speaking to Alan tomorrow about that deal. See how Guiash got on at CSK Moscow previously to join him. Martin Odegaard has joined Arsenal for the remainder of the season. I think I got that pronunciation spot on. Thank you very much. PSG are were hopeful of getting Dele Alli. They're not going to get him, are they? Or are they getting Dele Alli? Steve, Dele Alli update. Got a Dele Alli update?
They'll get him.
Dele Alli update. I mean, PSG want Dele Alli. Dele Alli wants PSG.
But Tottenham want a replacement, don't they? Tottenham want someone.
Well, Mourinho has said he can't go until he gets a replacement.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, I think this is just Mourinho being Mourinho because Dele Alli hasn't played. So why are you replacing him? Who are you replacing him?
Exactly.
You might as well be replacing him with a youth player. So
exactly.
That's just Mourinho thinking he's being clever, but the people with a brain listening to thinking, what you want about, mate? You ain't played him, so why don't need to replace him?
Yeah.
But everybody wants it done.
Yeah.
I think Levy want it done. I think possibly.
Well, it's probably because Levy's getting it in the year of Dele Alli's agent. Look, if anyone's seen the documentary with where Danny Rose turned around to Mourinho and said, "I'm going to speak to Daniel Levy about this," which is what players do. If they're not happy about a situation and the player wants to get out of there, and the manager's saying, "No, you have to stay," and the player's saying, "Look, I want a football career. I want to play." Well, then it won't be long until the chairman's getting a call from the agent saying, "What's going on? I want my player out of here unless he's going to start getting minutes." Because we've got Euros around the corner. He should be in the prime of his career, playing week in, week out, and you don't want to be sitting on the bench. One player that they could potentially be looking to get him as a replacement is Florian Nunes from Mönchengladbach. Jerome, you had a little look at him. What's he saying?
Yeah, what a player.
Oh,
honestly. Yeah, this guy's quality. Probably one of the most underrated midfielders in Europe, I'd say.
Wow.
So he's 23. He's just sort of broken into the German national squad. Central midfielder. He plays a bit deeper than Dele Alli. He's been with Mönchengladbach since 2017, and the way he plays when he collects the ball, like from the defence, is a little bit like Busquets. Like just so comfortable. He receives the ball, and if there's pressure being put on him, he can sort of break that press. Got the ability to turn and take the ball on the half turn, and a little skill to get out of trouble. Glides across the pitch. A really superb player. This Florian Neuhaus. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. Definitely have to take a look at him. Bigged him right up.
Yeah. Right. Good player. Very good player.
New Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has set RB Leipzig centre-back Dale Upamecano as top of his transfer list in the summer. Newcastle have held...
Absolutely no chance. No chance.
Bayern Munich.
Absolutely no chance.
Yeah, well, yeah. Bayern Munich's been the club that I would have thought.
It was like, yeah, but we're not going there. We've said it. We're not going there.
Yeah, Bayern Munich. I mean, Bayern Munich is the club. I mean, if you've watched this show for however long, you know I've been touting the Bayern Munich Upamecano story for ages.
Well, they've this week they've spoke the sporting director's come out. Hassan Salab, I can't even pronounce his second name, but he's come out and said that he's had a meeting with his representatives and his agent, and things are going well with David Upamecano. So you can't get more rubber stabbed than that.
Yeah,
He's going Bayern Munich.
Yes. We can't really have that one from like 6 months ago, but yeah,
A year.
Yeah, a year ago. But yeah, it's
Sorry, Nathan, because Nathan was hoping that he was going to Man United.
Yeah, it's Bayern Munich. Newcastle have held talks with Leicester over the signing of Hamza Saldri. There's reports today that Newcastle have made an inquiry with a French player. I'll pull it up in a second. I can't remember who it was, but
Marseille.
Yes. Sorry, if you could have a quick look at that, please, and try and find out who that is. Cheers, mate. Inter Milan forward Lefario Martinez is on the brink of signing a new contract. Celtic's Jermaine Frimpong has signed for Bayer Leverkusen. Weston McKennie has earned himself a permanent deal to Juventus. He's done well there, isn't he? Italian side Parma will sign youngster Joshua Xerxes. Jerome, you had a look at him. What's the Bayern Munich centre forward saying?
Oh, I can't believe they're getting rid of him.
It's game time, but he's got Lewandowski in front of him, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, look, he's only 19, right? He's young. He moved to Munich in 2017 from Feyenoord, and when he moved to Munich, obviously he was young, like really young. So he was like playing for their, I guess, like youth and second string team. I think this guy's a real player. He's 6'4", so he's huge, but he moves so well for someone his size. Really, very technical, and he's a centre forward that looks comfortable, like really comfortable when he's playing in a lot deeper areas. Yeah. Like he doesn't look awkward at all. Like he looks like, I guess, like the technical skills of a winger, but 6'4", big. I can't believe they're letting him go. I know they've got Lewandowski, but Lewandowski isn't, he's entering like the twilight of his career, isn't he? He's not exactly like 22, 23. And this guy's only young, but I don't know. Each to their own.
Yeah, I mean
they're not losing much either, are they? I mean, a loan with an option to buy for 15
mil. Yeah, 15 million euros. Yeah, I mean,
they can't.
That's madness. I've seen little snippets of him here and there from last season. But yeah, Everton were linked with him. I think they were trying to push for him, but I think Parma were. Was it that Parma were willing to offer the option to buy, or I'm not even sure what it was, but
it had to be extra special for Carlo Ancelotti. He said because he wasn't good. He said he'd come out. Our man in Italy had an interview with Carlo Ancelotti, and he said he wasn't buying Xerxes.
Yeah, there we go.
So we had that 2-3 weeks ago, but he did go around a lot of places that he was going to Everton. But, like Jerome said, he sounds like a good player.
Yeah.
Yep, he is a good player. Thanks very much for that, Jerome. Billy Gilmore is looking likely that he's going to be going out on loan. Steve, did you have an update on Billy Gilmore? Did you?
No. There's no. I mean, the last I've was it? I haven't had an update this week. But yeah, I mean they're meant to put him out on loan. But again, I mean whether it'll change there, Tuchel's in. We'd have to wait and see on that.
All right.
Chelsea very happy about it that he's going. So,
but how often does he play? That's the problem. Like you've got Kante there. You've got I think who else plays in that central midfield role. But where does he fit in? How often does he get game time? Like he's at the age where he needs to play. Just odd.
Especially when they're quality kids. When they're quality. And you can't work out why they ain't played. Like Balogun, for instance, a little bit. And you think, why ain't he played? Gilmore, why ain't he played?
But
And even Foden, when he's playing now, he's only playing due to people injured.
Yeah,
if he's injured the back, he'll probably be out on the bench again.
But Foden, I think like he's getting game time. You see him, okay, he could probably get a little bit more, but he's getting game time. The Billy Gilmore and the Balogun one, I just think it's just timing. I just think it's timing. Like
Rashford.
Yeah, I just think like Rashford came in that time because 3 Man United strikers were injured. Do you see what I'm saying? So would Rashford have played in any of them games against Arsenal, in the game previous when he played and scored a brace? Would he have played those games if the players were there? He wouldn't. But it's just timing. And he kept his shirt. Exactly, and he kept his shirt. And this is the thing. I just don't. I get. These youngsters are hungry, but I just don't know whether they're being advised well. Because I look at the likes of Balogun, and you look in front of him, and you think, okay, Aubameyang's got 3 years, 2 years at his peak. You've got Lacazette, he's got a year left on his contract. Is he really going to get an extension on that? The next player that they bring in is going to be a new player in that position, and then it's you. So it's you and the new player fighting for that position. Should you really be looking to go elsewhere? Should you not bide your time this season and go on? And, should you not be thinking, okay, I could be the Arsenal main striker here. I'll sign a deal, maybe go out on loan or stay and earn my spot. Yeah, and then whatever. I just at 19 years of age, I'm not thinking that anyone in and around our squad is ready to lead that line. And I look at Chelsea's midfield and I think, is a 19-year-old ready to go in there over Kante? Is he ready to go in there over Kovacic? Is he ready to go in there? Is he even ready to go in there if Ruben Loftus-Cheek was there? I'd say no. So if you're
not the way he's playing at the moment.
So if you're not better than them, then why should you? Why it may not be Billy Gilmore that's thinking this, but why are the Chelsea fans thinking that he should be in there? I just don't know. I don't know. I just think
someone said to me today about it. He's one of these players who's got a little bit of an attitude behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But is that because he's been the best at every level that he's played in?
I don't mind that.
It depends. It depends. Look, I like an ego because you've got to have an ego to be the best in the world. Every single best and every single goat. You tell me that Messi is humble and hasn't got an ego, you don't know him. You're not hurt. You're not looking deep enough. You're not reading the stories. Like look at the stories. They're out there. Yeah. All these players have egos. You have to be the best. You've got to think you're the best. You've got to have that confidence about you. But you've also got to have humility. Because if you don't have that, then you'll just end up like some of these hotheads, like a Rebel Morrison, like that.
Yeah. That's the only saving grace, as much as he does my head in, and as much as I don't want him back, that's the only thing on this side of my brain thinks, what if Guendouzi, what if? No. What if?
Do you know what solidified? Like I didn't want him back anyway. I think he should move on from this attitude. It's all opinions, but it was the game, like the game the other day, where the stories are now coming out again about he's had rows with the team members. He's after the game the other day. So after the game the other day in the Hector Berlin the other day when they lost, they had a row in the tunnel. Him and another player had around the tunnel. He's shouting at the people in at half time in the Hector Berlin team during a game. It's the same thing again and again and again, and he's been doing this since he was 16. So if people keep telling me it's okay, it's them that's the problem, then he's going to think that he's untouchable.
Yeah.
According to Turkish media, Galatasaray keen on signing Leeds defender Gianni Alioski. I think he's a very good left back. He's very attacking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
very attacking. Leicester want to sign long-term target James Tarkowski in the summer. Galatasaray are in talks with Turkish international Kayan Ayhan. Yannick Bolasie completed his move to Middlesbrough this week on loan. Felipe Falcao has completed his move to Stella Rosa, also known as Red Star Belgrade. this week from Lecce, 1.5 million. People were like, "Who the hell is Stella Rosa? That team don't exist." I was like, "It's the Red Stars upgrade." Sorry, I should have put that. Josh Diog has been monitored by a host of Premier League clubs, and an unnamed club said to be Arsenal is supposedly put in a bid. Jerome, what's this kid saying? How good is that?
Yeah, well, it's nice little story with this one.
Good.
With this one. So 18-year-old left back that plays for Hibs, and he actually got released from Hearts, their sort of rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Got released from Hearts and ended up joining Hibs. Hasn't played a lot of football, to be honest. He was out on loan part of last season at Queen's Park in Scotland, and only now this season is like a regular in Hibs' first team.
Mm-hmm.
So he's, I guess, obviously comparisons are being made between himself, Tierney and Robertson as their Scottish left backs.
Yeah.
He has got that same sort of drive, and he's constantly getting forward, like these like lung busting runs down the wing. And he's a bit taller than the two of them, and he has filled in at centre back as well. He's played for their Scottish under-18s. But he just hasn't played a lot of football. He's like just burst onto the scene this season. So as I said, he ain't played a lot of football.
That would seem like a bit of an odd one. I mean, not odd for if Arsenal would go for him.
They did go for him because the bid was rejected. They did put a bid in, an unofficial bid is what I was told, and it has been rejected. And they will go back in for a second bid.
Yeah, I mean, I can't look past the likes of Ryan Bertrand on a free.
Kieran Tierney's recommended him.
Oh, really?
I don't think we need anybody there, do we? Do we need anybody?
Kieran Tierney's recommended this, Josh. He's recommended him to Arsenal.
We've got the bloke who can't pass and can't shoot.
Oh, well, Cedric. Cedric. I'm loving Cedric.
All jokes aside, he's done well.
Oh, don't get Steve going off. I said this a year ago. I say he's brilliant. Cedric's brilliant this season so far.
I'll just sit back. No, I'm just saying he's done well. Do we need a left back?
Yeah. Do you think that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to be at Arsenal long term?
No. He wants to be in midfield.
So then I think you need a left back because
this might be his last evening at Arsenal, Kieran.
It could well be. We will keep you on the button on that one. So keep watching out.
I think he's right.
I think he'll go out. I think he'll go out tomorrow on loan for the rest of the season, and then someone will buy him.
So long term, there's no.
Sam Allardyce. Sorry.
Go on. Long term.
No, I was saying Sam Allardyce has literally come out and said on the TV and looked me in the face while I was eating my dinner that they was going to go for Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
All right. So long term, no Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So I think personally, if there's no Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I can't say it. No Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I think Arsenal need to go for a left back.
I agree.
And I don't know whether it needs to be a young kid. Like, surely Arsenal have got a young left back in their team. I just want someone who's going to.
I don't think they have. Maybe this might not be a bad option. Otherwise, you can sign a Bertrand, right? Someone he's basically had his career, isn't he? You're going to stick him on lumpy. You're going to stick him on lumpy wages. Maybe you want someone to come in that's going to be hungry and want to prove themselves, and they know that they're not going to start. Going to be a star, but he's young. He's 18.
Yeah, no, I get that, and it's probably a cheaper option. It's probably he may have a higher bar than Bertrand, but Bertrand's 30. Like if we're saying 30's done and dusted, then I'm done and dusted.
Not done and dusted, but it's a bit when these players. He knows he's coming to Arsenal for the end of his career, isn't he? So maybe he won't be as hungry. He might be a bit more relaxed. Maybe like a Willian. He's coming to Arsenal on lumpy wages. He's got nothing to prove. What's he got to prove, Willian?
Yeah, I hear that. Go on.
No, I'm going to say, like, if we're honest with each other, since he's come to Arsenal, he gets injured quite a bit, doesn't he? You know, he hasn't played, so we've got to think of that. So if we thinking that okay, we're going to want a left back who's we're going to want to maybe play 6-7 games at one point, sometimes, or 8 games. You're going to need someone with a bit of experience, aren't you? You know, because he does get injured a lot. So I don't know who the answer is, but if I think Doig,
I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I don't know the player.
Yeah.
I don't know Doig. I don't know what he's like. But if you're bringing in Doig, you know, for the last 6 games of the league season, for instance, say, I can't see Arteta doing that. Yeah, I know. The thing is with Arsenal, when they've signed these players that are right at the end of their career, it very rarely works out. For whatever reason.
I hear your worries. I get that.
I see him signing him. Signing him, but loaning him back.
I look at, maybe we could look at Cedric and think he's not done bad, and he knew he was coming as backup. So
I don't know.
Back? Huh?
Then what about the right back?
No. I'm saying as a comparison with regards to a player that's more at the end of his career than the start of his career. Cedric that's coming to Arsenal.
If Arsenal buy a left back, they will want something similar to Cedric.
Yeah, I don't know what Arsenal are thinking. I'm just thinking I'm just saying what I think, what I would personally want. Because I think
Crystal Palace one's a good shout. The guy
Van
from
Aanholt, and he's not bad. He's not bad.
Yeah.
He's not bad. If Van Aanholt goes, he'll probably go to a club in Germany, and a decent one at that. Like he's a good defender. Good pedigree, come from Chelsea. He's a good defender. And they're both on a 3.
If we're Mikel Arteta at home, we're all sitting at home, we're watching the telly, having a cup of tea, and he's thinking, got a transfer window tomorrow. He must be thinking, I need a left back.
Yeah.
If he's getting rid of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he has to be thinking that he needs a left back. Like I don't think you can think any other way.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles, his performance, I don't think he can play at left back. Even if he doesn't get rid of Maitland-Niles, I still think he needs a left back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Cedric ain't doing a good job for you.
No. To do with Maitland-Niles, even if Maitland-Niles stays, he's not a left back, is he?
Yeah.
He's a midfielder.
I think it's good for Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
For me, it's more just bodies.
If we forget about Arsenal for a minute, if we forget about the good of what it does for Arsenal, if we just just for a minute, the good of the player, he needs to move, doesn't he? He needs to go on. He's just in and out.
He needs to go. He needs a football career. He needs a football career. And he needs to go to a club where he can play his position as well. So he probably needs to go lower down in the leagues. He's humble enough for that. I don't think he's not
probably good.
Not got big. No, but he don't want to be going to a team like 6-month loan to West Brom. But he's not a championship player. They're very 6-month loan. I wouldn't want to be going to a team where I could potentially be playing in a championship for the next 3-4 years. I wouldn't want that. I've just got into the England team. That would put me back a bit. But I definitely do a loan. 18-year-old Arsenal winger Nathan Ellington has signed. Set to sign his new first professional contract. Leicester have made an approach for former Arsenal target Orkan Kirku about a loan with an option to buy.
He fell out with the manager, isn't he? He fell out with
Advocate.
Yeah.
West Brom want Ainsley Maitland-Niles. We've just been speaking about that on loan. West Ham want Cagliari forward Giovanni Simeone, son of Diego Simeone, to bolster their striking options. Roma have agreed a deal to sign former Juventus manager Massimo Allegri. News has come out recently that Liverpool are pushing to sign Kylian Mbappe, and Real Madrid are also still interested in the player and will look to offload players to sign him. Facundo Palisti has completed his loan move to Alaves. It was earlier on today. Hulk has returned to Brazil with Atletico Mineiro. Steve, did you have any transfers to add today?
I've just got a little bit of news on the Liverpool centre half situation, which because I think we're going to be when we're all on air tomorrow. I think he's going to sign someone. I think he will sign a centre half. He was asked about Ben Davies after the game today. He made a joke. He said, "What do you mean, Ben Davies is Tottenham?" Yeah, he's very, very funny with the jokes. So, but he was on about Ben Davies of Preston, and he just smiled, and you could tell that he's in for a centre back. We all know about Zen Botman, and you know that didn't happen, did it? You know, and he played today anyway, so that won't happen. I was told by an Italian man that Liverpool have put 45 million in for Merrill Demira of Juventus. Juventus need money, and Demiraz is someone who's been sitting on the bench recently. So I think that'd be a great signing for Liverpool if if they've got the money. He's a good player.
50 mil. I think
45.
45. I think No, I actually got that message the other day. It's odd. Yeah.
Oh right.
No.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, weird. Oh.
And then there's another one that's in the range, which is Nathen Supertech. Is someone who was Klopp knew well from his Dortmund days. And the biggest, probably one that stands out more than anything that we got off our German people is that Liverpool have been over to Leipzig and they have spoken about about someone in Leipzig, thought to be Ibrahimo Konate, and not Upamecano.
All right.
They've spoken to Leipzig, and you know the person who told me that. And I mentioned to you just now that Bayern have had the meeting with Upamecano's agent, so that sort of takes that, because that was from two different people, so that fits one or the other. And I think they're going to get one. I think they're going to get one centre-half tomorrow.
I think there was one more player. Thank you for that, Steve. Make sure you catch Steve tomorrow. He's going to have all the transfers.
I did have a little bit of information though on Hossein Aouar and Juventus. That at the minute there was a meeting scheduled by Juventus, which Damasio was talking about. And that they wanted to meet his representatives about a move in the summer. Now that Pogba, and we've already seen it on here, has obviously said he's not signing a new deal, and I received that message today about 12 o'clock from this person. Pogba's not going to sign a new deal, and now Juventus are wanting to offload Aaron Ramsey, Sami Khedira, and another midfielder to bring in Paul Pogba in the summer.
They ain't got no money. They ain't got no money. So
that's what I mean. So they're trying to offload players. They've even turned round and said that in the summer, De Ligt will be available for anyone who wants him, and they'll start it at 60 mil.
He's not really played. He's not really a starter for them, is he?
That's what I mean. So basically, 60 mil is the starting. What they've started, what they want for him. They want Paul Pogba back, and then Hossein Aouar is aware of this, but it looks like he's not going to Juventus now because they're going to put all their chips into Paul Pogba because Real Madrid are going to concentrate on Mbappe.
Yeah, Sami Khedira is on his way to Hertha Berlin. I thought I saw that. He's.
But they do have to get the money together. They are skint. They've got nothing.
Yeah. A lot of
this window. I mean, I've said it a few times over the last few weeks. They're just buying loans. They're just buying cheapies. And they're just buying, they're just using their youngsters. And if you look over the last week at, their transfer dealings, that is exactly what they've done.
Swap deals, loans turned into obligation buys and stuff like that.
There was the Ronaldo one, wasn't there? That come up that I was told, the Ronaldo swap.
Yeah.
With last week.
But no one wants to swap a 34-year-old Ronaldo with a 25-year-old player. It's not doesn't make sense. Go on,
And it's
Si.
like
There was
Rob
a-
says,
there
you
was-
know, Rob, Man United, he always says the swap deals are mega difficult.
Yeah, of course they
to
are.
get through.
Yeah.
Massively difficult.
Of course they are. Both players are going to want to have to go. I mean, we saw the situation with Pjanic and who was the one that went from Barcelona?
Yeah, centre midfielder. Is it
Yeah.
Bernard? Is it?
Is it Bernard? Well, he didn't want to go. To
Arthur,
Juventus.
is it?
Yeah, Arthur, that's it.
That's it. Arthur.
That's
Yeah.
it, Arthur. Arthur didn't want to go Juventus. Pjanic wanted to go Barcelona.
Arthur.
In the end, Barcelona were like, "Yeah, Arthur, you're going," and he was like, "Well, I'm not coming to training then. I ain't coming training. I ain't coming back. I'm just going to go." And it's like, and it causes a ruckus. It causes like players. You're forcing players to leave clubs they didn't want to go to. Jerome, I know you forgot about a player. Is it Alfredo Giach? He's gone from. Go on, sorry.
Sorry, just one more thing. The other message that I received as well. Sorry, the other message that I received as well was that someone from Liverpool invited Shkodran Mustafi's father to the London Stadium today for the game. So Mustafi to Liverpool, don't rule it out tomorrow because it could happen. There's a big chance. A big chance it could happen. Arsenal have even been speaking for a week now. Well, 2 weeks, he said, but it's progressed a week. That they're going to terminate his contract.
Yeah.
They're going to and this is what the loan was. The 120 loan that Arsenal got from the bank. This is what it was for, to get players off the contracts, pay players off, and Edu has got Ozil off, he's got Socrates off, and now he's going to get Mustafi off. See, the only reason I'm saying he's going to get Mustafi is because I've been told that he's going to get his contract terminated. He's playing out for, he wants his full pay, and he wants his 2 mil loyalty bonus towards the end of his contract. Arsenal, it's not as mega as Mesut Ozil, so they're happy to do that. So Liverpool have invited Shkodran Mustafi's dad to the game today, and I won't be surprised if, while we're doing this now, if any news is broke that Mustafi could be on the move. So
there's still a long way to go. There's
still a long way to go.
There's still a lot of players that Liverpool are eyeing up, but it depends what deal could get done. Whether Arsenal are going to cancel that contract and give him to Liverpool, or whether they're going to make Liverpool pay money for it, is probably going to be a.
It's about 2 or 3 mil at most to pay for him.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that.
The thing is with Liverpool is that whatever player goes to Liverpool, you know, they're going to want assurances of playing.
Yeah.
And
well, he'll definitely play. Jordan Henderson will move to midfield.
When Van Dijk comes back, when Gomez comes back, when Matip comes back, whoever this person is who's gone there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've got to look
that.
at long term. Yeah.
That's difficult, isn't it?
You're right. To say to Mustafi, you're going to be playing now, yeah, fine. But I'm signing a 2-3 year deal. What happens when Van Dijk and Gomez are back and Matip's back? Am I sitting on the bench again?
He's on the bench, isn't he?
Because
doing the same as he was at Arsenal.
This is not what I want to do. So maybe potentially we'll have to see. I'm not going to throw out guesses. We'll have to see what if there is any deals going on. We'll have to see what deals, because again, a lot of things are happening with regards to people signing. I mean, you saw Arsenal last year sign Cedric for 2 million when he had 6 months left in his contract. They did a loan, 2 million loan, and then at the end of the season, and then at the end of the season, it's a free transfer. So, watch this space. Plenty could happen. As we know, there's about 3 or 4 centre backs that Liverpool are looking at. Jerome, our Adolphe Giach. He's gone from CSKA Moscow to Benevento or something.
Yeah, club in Italy. Yeah. But he only joined CSK in July.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
From Argentina, youngster.
Yeah. 21-year-old centre forward. So his nickname, or in Argentina, he's known as the Tank. So as you can imagine, he's built like a you-know-what.
Yeah.
He's 6'3", right-footed. I guess in build, he's little bit like Giroud. I guess his sort of build, but right-footed. Not a bad goal scoring record at youth level, but he is. This we spoke about a centre forward before, the one that's leaving Bayern Munich, Zerke.
Oh yeah.
So he's the opposite. He is like, just get him in the box. He's no good. He's a bit sort of clumsy on the ball, sort of in deeper areas. This guy, just get him in the box near the penalty area, having shots. Like the rest of his game is
Yeah, he's a penalty box player.
Yeah.
Is that probably why it wasn't working at CSK, or is he getting game time?
Yeah, possibly. I think he was playing a little bit, but yeah, that just wasn't. Maybe I guess in Argentina, he was, maybe at home they're performing better, and he hasn't worked out. You don't send a player on loan straight away if you rate him, do you?
Yeah, I mean, but that's a big move from Argentina to Moscow.
Yeah,
that's a culture shock. So
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tough one. I usually go from Argentina, Spain, Argentina, Italy, but Argentina, Moscow. That's like a yes. Wake up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. It's a massive culture shock. All right. Thank you very much, people. Thank you very much for all our guests, Nathen Ellington, Josh Bunting. We will definitely have Josh back. Maybe do little segments about women's football. Love it. Let's have a little say hello to everyone in the comments section. Oh, Callum, we will see you tomorrow. Make sure you go and follow Football CFB. Callum McFadden will be joining us this weekend, tomorrow, and check the deadline.
We've got some breaking news, people. A little bit of breaking news, considering what we were just speaking. Liverpool have agreed a fee to sign Ben Davies from Preston.
All right, there we go. Breaking news. As we said, it could be one of many of the centre backs that Liverpool are looking at, and Liverpool have agreed a fee for Ben Davies from Preston. Thank you for joining us, Oliver Martin. Good evening. Thank you for joining us, Ali. I don't think I've seen you before, Ali. Thank you for joining us, mate. Gareth Lewis, it's my boy Gareth. How you doing, Gareth? Gareth will be watching the Ben Thornley one. I know he will be. He's dying to watch that. I didn't need it tonight, Peter. I did not need it. They were on their best behaviour, mate. Big up to the people. All right, there we go. Thank you very much. Big up. H4S, thank you very much, H4S. Oliver, thank you very much, Oliver. Samuel O. Speaking of Samuel, we'll be seeing Samuel at 12:30 tomorrow. We'll be discussing many things, but definitely he's a Chelsea fan. This is a guy who broke the Thomas Pike story with us, so he's coming on tomorrow. He's a Chelsea fan, so we're going to ask him how he felt about the sacking of Frank Lampard, the future with Thomas Tuchel, and what his expectations are as a Chelsea fan. Should be a good one.
But Jojo Kenny, what position does he play? Does anybody know?
It's a fullback, isn't
he? He's just flew to Celtic. He's on loan. He's to go on loan to Celtic from Everton. So I thought he's not a bad little fullback. He is. I remember him at Schalke.
Yeah, no, he's is it right back, is he? I'll have to check. But I think he is. I think
a good buy for Celtic.
I think he plays in a couple of positions, you know. Oh yeah, it's loan deal. Yep, right back. Yep, he's completed. Okay, this is the taste of what you're going to get tomorrow. It's going to be a bit more fluid.
It's completed.
Yeah.
It's not. It's going to be cup of tea here, toast. They haven't going. Yeah, just leave a comment.
I'm going to have a go at my person. Just told me it's. Nah.
No. It just says. It says. What does it say? Oh, sorry. Hope for a loan deal. 1 hour ago. 36 minutes. Scouting report. Celtic scouting report. So it looks like it's close. Looks set to bring John Joe Kenny in. Look, the first thing I typed in John Joe Kenny, and it pops up Celtic scout report. They are obviously right on the button. I'll be keeping an eye on that Celtic scout report because I've not seen you before, boys. You might be getting a message.
Jerome, just before we go, have you seen much of Cotrone of Wolves?
I'm afraid
I don't know if anybody has. I don't think anybody has. Cotrone.
I thought you said Chore.
I like a coffee Patron.
Never heard of Coney. Oh, mate.
I'm watching the Royal Rumble tonight, so I'll be up till about 4.
Researching for tomorrow.
I know.
I know. We've got some big guests on tomorrow. Apart from these 4 handsome men, we've got Kevin Parker of Man City. We've got Jason Pettigrove of Barcelona. Should be a good one. I said football CFB with Callum. We've got South American expert, not Simon Edwards, a different South American expert this week.
One.
Make sure you join us for that.
His name's Paul Galliano.
Paul Galliano, South American expert. We've got Jamie Brown and Abby on. We've got Lee Allenson, Tom King, and Nathen Ellington, and Ben Thornley, former Man United winger. 2 games of blown. Basuma, the governor, thank you very much. If we hear anything about any of these signings, look.
We'll get Samuel on Bazuma.
No, do you know what? Do you know what? Yeah, it's like Brighton aren't going to sell Basuma in January.
Not with the beaten Spurs.
He is their best midfielder. He's one of their best players. Yeah.
No way.
Why are they going to buy? Why is they going to sell him in January? They're not. They're not. Even if they get Moses to Casado, which it looks like the deal's near enough done, they're not going to sell him in January because look, for how much would Arsenal offer him? Arsenal offer Brighton for Basuma. Let's say ballpark figure Basuma's worth 30 to 40 million.
60 at start.
Let's say, let's say.
Yeah, 60.
No, that's what they'll last for.
He's a £40 million player.
Oh, yeah.
He's a £40 million player, but they'll say 60, and then if you want him, you pay the money.
Yeah, so if you say 60, would you be happy that Arsenal plays 60? No, you wouldn't be happy that Arsenal plays 60. Oh, well. If they go down from taking 60 million off of Arsenal, potentially could take 150 million by staying up, the manager gets slapped, the chairman gets slapped, and their club is in the mud. Like, I don't even need to answer these questions. Sorry. I've answered the Basuma one so many times, man, and then people keep on asking me week after week about Basuma, and it's like, come on, boys, like Brighton aren't going to sell Basuma. Like,
I'll ask you in the WhatsApp chat.
Just I didn't throw my phone. Michael Olise, yeah. Jerome done Michael Olise last week, and he gave it the seal of approval. We got Jerome just did Diog this week. Said he's a very good player. Ain't played much, and there's a few more players on there that Jerome has been asked to look at. PSV, Charles, DeCalty, and Club Brews. Keo George. So that could be, if they're the same position, we could do a comparison for next week on that one, all right? All things Arsenal.
You've got a late night, Jerome.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy day tomorrow as well. Not too busy. Obviously, these boys won't be on all day. I can't do that to them. But they will be on. Jerome will be doing his player profiles on a couple of players that maybe some of the guests that come on, if they give us a couple of players, Jerome could do a couple of player profiles on them. But altogether, it's going to be a good, fun, enjoyable, wholesome, clean day. Hey guys, make sure you press.
It will take my anger from that Danny Ings offside, which has done me all day long when he was offside.
That was a joke. Like that was honestly a joke. Honestly, I can't. That needs to stop. Like this offside because of his arm is not offside. It's not offside. You can't score with your arm. So how can it be offside?
It wasn't even his arm. It was his finger. It was like that.
They need to change it for next season.
It's silly. Anyway, Maya, thank you very much for joining us. And obviously Peter G, our boy Peter G, Corey Cohn. All right. How can I forget? I nearly forgot. I might not have Jerome back.
Good win.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, people. Thank you very much for tonight, Simon.
Cheers.
Thank you very much for tonight, Jerome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for tonight, Steve.
Thank you, everybody.
And I'll see all of you tomorrow. Make sure you join us from 9 o'clock in the morning with the Mirrors. Darren Lewis. I nearly said Daniel Levy. I nearly said Daniel Levy. I nearly said Daniel with the Mirrors. Daniel Levy. No, because he's a Tottenham fan, isn't he? With the Mirrors, Darren Lewis should be a great start to the morning. Obviously, join us for the rest of the day as well. We've got German experts, we've got Swedish experts, we've got people from Barcelona, we've got non-league footballers that have played in the FA Cup and against Wolves and all these other teams. We have got a plethora of players, and hopefully we finish with a nice ending with a couple of stories from Manchester United's very own Ben Thornley. Thank you very much for joining us, people. Peace out, stay safe, and wash your hands.